Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Haley Gibson. Today I'm going to be talking about detoxification. Detox is a word that we hear all the time. I'm detoxing. I am doing a sugar detox. I'm detoxing from whatever it may be. Oh, try out this detox drink that I have. Well, today I just want to talk about what exactly detoxing is and what nutrients that we need for detox to happen. It is estimated that there are over 80,000 toxic chemicals used regularly in the United States. There are over 500 chemicals stored in our body, and the average individual has at least 7 pesticides tested in their urine. That is a lot of chemical exposure, and it's increasing every single day. In our modernized industry, that is just how our world is today. So we need to be using daily detoxification strategies. Not just every once in a while, but we need to be using nutrients that support our liver in detoxing all of these chemicals on a daily basis. So our body is equipped to a certain degree to handle all the toxins that we're faced with. And I don't just mean, blatantly exposed to like chemotherapy, a chemical. I mean, you walk outside and there are chemicals floating around just produced from the buildings around us and the chemicals that are used to making your furniture, your flame retardant sheets, your floors, your Windex, your everything that you come into contact with. Your soaps now are full of chemicals. So it's important that we are equipping our body to handle the amount of chemicals that it is exposed to, as well as equipping it to break down our foods and use those nutrients how it's supposed to. We are dependent upon water to act as a solvent to actually dissolve these compounds in order for them to be excreted. So we must be well hydrated. That is definitely super important. The cell membrane is made up of fatty acids and is impermeable to most water-soluble substances. So the water-soluble compounds depend upon specialized transport proteins to get into a cell effectively. A water-soluble carrier can effectively move through the body's circulation, but will not enter into a cell unless specialized circumstances allow it. In contrast to water-soluble compounds, the lipid-based cell membrane fuses with lipid-soluble compounds, which can freely pass through it. This means that fat-soluble toxins can get into the cell fairly easily and are much more difficult to remove. So when I talk about that, I always think of vitamins. You have your water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C, your B vitamins, and then you have your fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin A. Those are fat-soluble. And the way they get into your cells use a different process. So it's important that we have everything in place to get these cells in, or to get these nutrients into and out of the cell. Same goes with chemicals and pathogens and everything we're exposed to on a daily basis. We have different mechanisms for getting them into and out of the cell. So it's important that we support our body on a daily basis, not just every now and then do a detox drink. This is a daily basis kind of thing. So before I dive a little deeper, I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Haley Gibson. I'm a functional diagnostic nutritionist and registered nurse. I work alongside Dr. David Jockers, and we work with clients all over the world. I work at his clinic in Kennesaw, Georgia. It's called Exodus Health Center, and we help the local clients there. And then basically what we do is we help you interpret lab work, we help you interpret your symptoms, and we really focus on preventative care and reversing whatever chronic issues you may be dealing with. So we really try to dig deep and figure out what's going on in your body and how can we best equip your body to help you overcome the health struggles you're dealing with. So it's a lot of fun. Love what I do, which is always nice. So the other pictures, they're just a few pictures of myself with my fiance, my family over on the left side. They're wonderful people. And then on the right side, you see the famous mountain challenge that I talk about in my videos. We're having a great time with that this year. So on to detox. So the body has a built-in metabolic detoxification system to address this problem by converting the fat-soluble toxins into an inactive water-soluble metabolite. There's a couple of different types of toxins. We're going to talk about exogenous and endogenous. Exogenous are toxins that come from out of the body. Endogenous come from within the inside of the body. Yes, when you are metabolizing things or exposed to things, for instance, if you have bacteria in your gut that is harmful and it's excreting toxins, your body actually has to deal with those as well. Even regular bacteria that are in your gut, they're going to elicit some type of toxin, and our body is supposed to be able to handle it. So xenobiotics are a type of exogenous, meaning they're environmental toxins, and they're also found in prescription drugs. So we come into contact with millions of these xenobiotic particles every single day, and our body does the best it can to neutralize and eliminate them from the body. The problem is when we get overwhelmed. Endobiotics, so these are toxins produced within the body. Excess hormones, free radicals, bile acids, these are all considered, endobiotics. So detoxification enzymes are unique in that they can react with many different compounds, and they're more concentrated in areas of the body that are most directly exposed to the environment. So the major detoxification areas, of course, include the liver, huge. The intestine, the kidneys, the lungs, the brain. The body has the lymphatic system that helps collect and move toxins into circulation out through the excretory systems. So the brain has the lymphatic system that is made up on the brain's unique immune system called glial cells. This system flushes toxins out through the cerebrospinal fluid and into the excretory systems. Like I said, liver is definitely the primary detoxification system within our body. So there are 3 phases of detoxification that happen in every cell of the body, but they primarily happen in the liver, like I said. So this slide just shows you what an unhealthy cell with a poor membrane around it looks like versus a healthy cell with a good membrane. So this really comes down to what we're feeding our body. Are we hydrated? Are we giving our body what it needs? So whenever we don't have enough fats in the diet, we don't have a good permeable membrane surrounding the cell, and the cell can become hard and rigid, and it creates a barrier for waste products to get out of the cell, and it also creates a barrier for nutrients getting in. So even though we may start eating healthy, if we don't have healthy cells, these things won't get into and out of the cells as efficiently as they should. So it takes time to rebuild these cells, but that's the beautiful thing about the body. It does rebuild itself. So skin cells, if you look at the skin you have, this will shed and you will have new skin cells on the top of your body and within 28 days. Your liver rebuilds itself within 500 days. The intestinal cells are actually every 3 days. Red blood cells every 120 days, and the white blood cells are every few hours, which I think is so remarkable, the way that our body can rebuild itself. So this phase, or this slide, is about the actual steps through the detoxification process. So there's 3 phases we're going to talk about. Phase 1 is called transformation. In this phase, there are enzymatic reactions that transform the particular toxin into a chemical form that can be metabolized by the phase 2 enzymes. These reactions are particularly carried out by the cytochrome P450 enzymes in the liver. This phase is very much dependent upon adequate amounts of protein, vitamin A, B2, B3, vitamin C, vitamin E, folate, iron, calcium, copper, zinc, magnesium, selenium. So deficiencies in these nutrients slow the transformation of specific toxins. The top threats to these deficiencies include blood sugar imbalances, a deficient diet, and poor gut function that hampers nutrient absorption. So that's a lot of nutrients that you need for phase 1 to take place, and there's a lot of barriers that can happen to prevent you from absorbing those nutrients. So you can see how important it is that we're eating all of our healthy foods at every single meal in order to get the amount of nutrients we need to fight off everything that we face on a daily basis. Because the fact of the matter is, we live in a modernized world, and the industry is booming and creating new chemicals every day. We just have to be prepared to face it. We can do our best to eliminate it, but we do not live in bubbles. We will always be faced with these things. So we got to help our body out. So phase 2 is known as detoxification. So these reactions actually bring together the toxin to other water-soluble substances to increase its solubility. So the major enzymes catalyze a different form of conjugation reaction. So something called UGT or UDP glucuronidase transferases catalyze the glucuronidation of most prescription drugs and many environmental toxins. So basically you have an enzyme that catalyzes the detoxification of these drugs and environmental toxins. So then you have something called GSTs, which is another enzyme, and it actually brings together toxins with glutathione. So the antioxidant potential of glutathione also clears out free radicals in this phase. Glutathione is the major antioxidant in the body, huge for detoxification, and we need things to build up our glutathione stores. SULTs are another enzyme, and this helps with sulfur reactions, and this plays a huge role in controlling sex hormone levels. So lots of enzymes are needed. The most important nutrients to effectively complete the phase 2 of detoxification, we have to have good amounts of all the B vitamins, especially B6, folate, and B12. These are known as the body's major methyl donors. Methylation happens hundreds of thousands of times in the body every single day. Very important that we have good levels of B6, folate, and B12. So sulfur-containing amino acids such as methionine and cysteine, these are also extremely important for this phase. Magnesium, huge for sulfonation, glucuronidation, and glutathione conjugation reactions, which are all the reactions that we just talked about. So magnesium is really huge for this. Conjugation reactions depend upon the use of cofactor acetyl coenzyme A, which is created through vitamin B5, and it uses enzymes that depend upon multiple B vitamins. So we want a lot of B vitamins in our diet, and a lot of people have issues actually breaking down the B vitamins into usable forms. So I do recommend using, if you have issues breaking them down, use a methylated form of a B complex supplement. Okay. So phase 3 of detoxification, this process transports the transformed conjugated toxins out of the cells and into a shuttle to get into the urine or bile for excretion. So this is where we're actually getting rid of the things that are inside of our bodies that shouldn't be there. When toxins are put into the bile, they move into the intestines where they can be gathered up into the intestinal stool and released through the bowels. Those water-soluble toxins that are gathered in the bloodstream can make their way into the kidneys and be filtered out and excreted through the urine. Okay. So key nutrients for the detox process, I've talked about several of them already. Flavonoids have been shown to lower the activity of CYPs, which are the cytochrome P450 enzyme I talked about that are in the liver. So flavonoids have been shown to lower the activity of these while increasing all of the phase 2 enzyme activities. Some of the flavonoids, such as naringinum, which is concentrated in citrus fruits, and in particular grapefruit, strongly inhibit CYP. So this is why their recommendation is not to consume grapefruit along with prescription drugs, because essentially what it's doing is inhibiting the detox process. So the nuclear factor, erythroid 2 related factor, NRF2 is another word for it, is a genetic transcriptional factor that functions as the key controller of the redox homeostatic gene regulatory network. It is considered the master controller of oxidative stress in the cellular network. So when it is working well, it signals the cells and tissues to produce massive amounts of antioxidants to neutralize free radicals that are being produced. So long-term environmental stress reduces the efficiency of the NRF2 pathway. So we can actually see on an organic acid test where the antioxidants have become low, and something we can do to help boost this pathway up is the NRF2 power. Fight off the toxins that we've been talking about. So a depressed NRF2 system is unable to reduce free radical formation, and this altered activity is associated with chronic diseases such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, cancer, things like that. That's the biggest thing about detoxification. You actually want to reduce the free radicals, and free radicals are produced when you're just making energy. When you eat something and you make energy, you actually produce free radicals. This is normal. But free radicals, we associate that with cancer formation. So we don't want our body to be overrun by free radicals that are not reduced by antioxidants. So we want to make sure we're taking in a large amount of antioxidants to help our body take care of these. So when the system is weak, there's no way the body can effectively handle the bombardment of free radicals that are attempting to wreak havoc. So this is one of the most common supplements that we use to help that pathway. So these are just examples of ways that poor detoxification can present. A deficit in antioxidants can lead to lots of issues. So asthma, COPD, allergies, atherosclerosis, hypertension, elevated cholesterol, triglycerides, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, wrinkles, acne, eczema, psoriasis, chronic kidney disease, heart attacks, strokes, Alzheimer's. All these things are related to the free radicals that are produced, and we don't have enough antioxidants fighting off these free radicals. Sulfur compounds are critical for phase 2 detoxification, as both the glutathione pathway and the sulfation pathway depend upon these. Some powerful sulfur-containing compounds that are fantastic for detoxification. This includes cruciferous vegetables. The nutrients inside of the cruciferous vegetables increase the enzymes that we were talking about. So broccoli, great source of indole-3 carbinol, and this will help increase your body's ability to reduce those free radicals. Garlic and onions contain allyl sulfides. This is really great for boosting up those antioxidant pathways and boosting up phase 2 detoxification enzymes. D-limonene, so this is found in citrus essential oils, and it helps to induce both phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. It increases the P450 enzyme that we talked about, this in the liver in phase 1, helps increase that activity. It also helps with boosting up the enzymes that we've been talking about. So like I said, glutathione is the major antioxidant of the body. Whenever we do see low glutathione levels, we do associate this with premature aging, disease. Supplementing with glutathione, we see that become very helpful for helping people get their energy back and increasing their detoxification pathways. Calcium D-glucarate is found in many different fruits and vegetables, and this acts as a key inhibitor of an enzyme called beta-glucuronidase, which is produced by colonic bacteria and intestinal cells. So this actually reactivates certain toxins to their previous dangerous form, where they can be reabsorbed by the body and cause harm, which is associated with an increased cancer risk. So calcium D-glucarate is something that we want to prevent this from happening. So it really boils down to eat lots of vegetables. Chlorophyllin, missed some things. Chlorophyll is something that binds and traps toxins in the gut and prevents their absorption. It also lowers the bioavailability and accelerates the excretion of several environmental carcinogens such as heterocyclic amines, which are in cooked meat, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which are from gasoline and smoke, and aflatoxins, which are mold-based toxins that are linked to liver cancer. So one study looked at 180 people in China who were exposed to aspergillus, which is an aflatoxin-based fungus, and these people took 100 milligrams of chlorophyll 3 times a day. Urinary levels of DNA aflatoxin conjugates actually went down 55% compared to those who did not take it. So chlorophyll has been shown to be extremely helpful for detoxing the body, helping fight fungal infections as well. So probiotic bacteria trap and metabolize xenobiotics and heavy metals. Healthy gut bacteria will help you extract nutrients from foods as well as detox your body. So if you have an unhealthy gut microbiome, you'll actually have higher amounts of toxins secreted and less help with the detoxification process. So something else that we really need are bile-healthy foods. Impairment of bile flow is going to reduce the body's ability to eliminate toxins. This is typically caused by a congested liver, inflammation, and scarring of the bile duct and gallstones. So if you think about liver congestion, what would cause liver congestion? Well, like I said, just the increase in chemicals we're exposed to on a daily basis, but also the types of foods we're eating. So if we're eating a diet that's high in sugar, this will actually cause your liver to become overwhelmed and congested and just not work properly. So let this just reiterate to you that a healthy lifestyle is something you really need to be doing, every day. It's not something that you just do for a week or two and expect everything to be all back on track. This is a lifestyle decision, and we want to help you through it. So that is what we do. We help you get the tools that you need to make this a sustainable life change. We want to help you pick out, where to really focus on. If it is liver congestion, we'll talk about ways to increase bile flow, things like radish and beets and Swiss chard and ginger. All these foods are really going to help get bile flow moving, which helps the detox process. I'll also help you dig deeper into why your liver is congested in the first place. And then we'll help you fix it. So like I said, we work with people locally and over long distance. We will help you interpret your lab work and make a customized plan just for you and your needs. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at nutrition@drjockers.com. We also have lots of free articles and education at our website, drjockers.com. Just go over there and put in the little search box anything you want to know about, and we're doing our best to get education out to the public, because that's what we should be doing as healthcare providers, is providing education to the public to take care of themselves. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.